Hey there everybody, Ursula here. Hey, this is how I start my garden. It starts with a grid and a layout, and then it involves tracking and what did I plant and when did I plant. And today we're going to focus on a little 4-foot square garden that I have right along my fence line. As you can see here, I did some spring planting the beginning of April 3rd, and I put in 2 rows of Tokyo turnips, of which I got 3 turnips. Then I planted 3 rows of French breakfast radishes, and I did really well with those. I got quite a bit. I planted 3 rows of a carrot breed called Nantes, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, so you'll excuse me if I didn't, but I didn't get any. Then I planted 2 rows of a shogun turnip, which was supposed to be a lot like the Tokyo turnip, except it didn't. It just kind of took over the whole bed and it didn't have any roots. And then I planted a row of homestead radishes, which are the little round sparkler ones. And all of those turned out like the picture I'm going to show you. And then I transition. And things never go exactly the way you plan. I was supposed to have Roma tomatoes in this bed, and I did transplant some, and I also transplanted some basil. And then after I show you how it was supposed to start out, we're going to see what it looks like today. And today I'm putting the trellis up for the tomatoes because they need it. So let's take a look. Okay, so you go on vacation and you go to an area that's all drought, and you come home and it's done nothing but rain since you left, which is fine for the garden, but now I have a jungle. So this is supposed to be a well-organized tomato bed, and it's not, and you can tell that. No, I am not a flower. Okay, so now that the bees have figured out that I'm not a flower, let's see if I can get back far enough so you can see where I'm at with installing my trellis. All right. My garden is on a hill, so the back supports have to be taller than the front. So I've got some connectors, and I've figured out the angle of my hill so that I know. And these are, it's a 4-foot by 4-foot grid. And the blocks fit inside of that, so it's not quite surface area-wise of the actual garden. That might be a better shot. So you can see my tomatoes have all fallen in. I have some dill, which has kept the deer out. And yes, we've had a lot of deer through. I have borage coming up in the middle, which was not planned. I also have amaranth coming up in the middle, which was also not planned. And then we had some problems germinating squash. Out of an entire pack of seeds, this is the only squash I got. So, much to my surprise, somewhere under the Swiss chard, there's a squash plant. So we're just going to let that spill over into this empty area here, which I just weeded and covered with sawdust. The chard may or may not stay there. We'll see. That needs to be harvested, that's for sure. But right now we have a tangle, and I will show you what it looks like once I've got the tomatoes all tied up. It's never about just one thing. There's always so much more to do. So yeah, why am I in the middle of a tomato video showing you watermelons? That's what these guys are. We're going to be getting rain shortly, and I wanted to get all the plants in before the rain hit. Well, as many as I could anyway. So I cleared a lot of the comfrey and the weeds in this section, and I added the watermelon. I don't know if they'll do very well. The nasturtium doesn't seem to have taken, it's not happy with the soil here in the For What It's Worth department. It's all right, we have a lot of nasturtium seeds. This is skirt. It wasn't supposed to be here. So, you know, that got done. Thai basil got planted. Leeks got planted. Mulberries need to be harvested. It's never just one thing. So now we are at the tomato bed. And you can see I've got tomato clips and strings so that I can work the tomatoes up and around the trellis. They won't just go up, but I'll actually start taking them around the trellis if they get big enough. We've cleaned a bunch of stuff up. There's basil in here now. The amaranth tipped over, and that might live, it might not, and that's okay. We ended up with one volunteer tomato in the middle of the bed, which is going to make it interesting to stake. I attempted, and we'll see if it goes upright. I need some more clips on that one. But yeah, along the back is going to be tricky to pick. I may at some point just put a stepping stone in here. Let's walk around. The borage is going to stay. The bees love it. Well, we'll let her work. So you can see that's much tidier now. And then as those tomatoes grow, they'll get clipped up and clipped up until they reach the top. And then I'll lower the string and start wrapping it around, maybe counterclockwise around this thing. So you can get up to 9 feet of tomato without actually having to have poles that tall. So there you go. One bed tidied up. So much more to do. See you later.